Hey guys! Welcome back to Let's Play Xenosaga Episode 2. Last time, more tutorials. This time, plot advancement. Why is there a vector sign with a bunch of mechs up there? I don't know. Whatever. Let's move forward to a dead end. Let's blow it up. And of course, just because things fall in this game, that means they automatically blow up. And we'll blow this one up too. That's a lot of boom. And everything is gone. I believe I've gotten all the items up until this point. Thought I counted 8, and I think I've got 7, but I might have been including the segment address store. Oh well. If we miss anything, it's not important. And we can come back and get it later.
Alright. Here it is.
Oh?
You will find the URTVs in the lowest level.
All right. Captain Uzuki, thank you for bringing us this far. We'll take things from here.
Of course. As I said, it was fate. I wish I could go with you further.
Oh? If you wish, then why don't you?
However, it's imperative that I complete my work on this data.
Okay.
I want to completely expose the shadow behind this conflict and drag it into the light.
Sounds like a
To
great
do this,
idea.
I'll have to access the mainframe here. Also,
Oh.
What?
Also what? I sense a presence. One I've not felt since... I've seen that face before.
I gave you far too much credit, Uzuki. I thought you were smarter than this, a better thief. I never once thought you'd just come walking in through the front door.
well, I thought you might be getting lonely, Colonel. So I
Colonel?
figured I'd come pay you a visit.
Same old Uzuki. Neither your attitude nor your ability to bluff have shown improvement. No matter. The data you possess is no threat to us. You've got nothing.
Precisely why I have some unfinished business here.
Okay.
I see. You know what this means.
Oh, yes I do. Boss time.
Uzuki!
This is the first boss in the game, and it already has
No more words.
jumping through hoops.
Here.
He has 1,000 HP with a break zone of CB. He is by default weak to hit and slash, and I think or to an extent. Later on, he will do a defensive thing, and he'll become really resistant to strike and slash, and he'll become weaker than the other two to aura. And I forgot to buff up the thing that I wanted to make sure that I did all that grinding in the last episode, and I wanted to learn something, and then I forgot to put points into it. So yeah, that's great. Oh well, no biggie. First things first, move. We have the move command here. It's only available in some battles, and if you move, by default, because your characters are not very bright, they will continue facing the same way that they already faced. So not only are you at their back, but because he's not smart enough to turn around, you also have your back facing the enemy. That's one of the reasons why I want to make sure I have boosts set up ahead of time so I don't take any huge damage. The other thing, I don't think I need to do any of that, and I actually wanted to use Chaos to set up some other things, so I probably should have moved Jin, but that's alright. So we want to go C, B, and we'll throw him up. Not that that really matters. Now we have Chaos. Now, this is a unique part of the battle system. Chaos's circle attacks all have the down effect on it. Now, any of the characters, and there are 2, that have only down effects on their circle attacks cannot hit enemies that are in the air under the air effect. I wasn't planning on it because I want to do some little bit of buffing here, but let's show Analyze. We won't be using it very often, but rarely you can get a skill upgrade E. That would be very nice. He's also, by default, kind of weak to physical attacks. He's weak to ice and slash, I guess, according to this. I have access to the guide on GameFAQs. I believe it's the one by Shotgunova, and that guide is just impeccable for this game because someone did some coding work and they found out the exact percentages that enemies are weak to. And it's usually in instances of 25, 50, 75, 100, etc. And I think he's like 150% weak to ice, slash, and hit. And I'm not sure how much difference physical attacks is, but you can be weak to both physical or magic or ether-based attacks. And so that has a lot to do with things as well. If you can get lucky and get that skill upgrade E, definitely go for it. That would be very nice. Now, in order to get points from this guy, you need to kill him on the current gauge that I'm on, the boost gauge, because he has a final attack. Meaning you also need to make sure that you're healed. This increases his aim, and I have no idea what he talks about. Most of the things he says here are confusing to me. Apparently it's another language, one I'm not familiar with. Anyway, we'll go with CB some more. See, high critical there means we do extra damage. See, this time, instead of boosting Chaos, I let him just get his turn naturally afterward. And like I said before in previous episode, if anyone is subject to air and then you let a turn pass without a boost, they'll fall into the down status. So now I can use the circle button to do another attack. And I hit him from the back. Now, what he's done here is he has put an anti-break thing in there. Now, this only applies when you're trying to attack an enemy from the front. So I can still attack the enemy from the back and not suffer any negative repercussions. So what I want to do is I want to stalk. Once he does this is the point in the battle where you don't really want to use Jin for a lot of your attacks. However, I have a way around that, and that is Aura Sword. So I'm going to cast that on him. And I will only do the initial attack from behind. So unless they give me a nice option here, Aura Sword does not last infinitely. It will wear out in time. Alright, so now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to boost. And so we're going to go CB. I was hoping to get a something in there, but okay, let's do a couple of attacks. Not too many, because I don't want to kill him, because, like I said, I want to kill him on the boost instead. If you had attacked him from the front, he would have countered and you wouldn't have been able to break him. So now I have the opportunity, assuming I can deal enough damage. 103, nowhere near enough. Okay, so I'm going to have to wait for the next round. So I'm going to stalk here. And we're going to boost you. And for now, I'll just stalk with you, because that doesn't really matter. So we'll just go CB, and we'll just expend everything we've got left, just to make sure. There we go. And so he's going to counter boost, and he's going to have a turn, and he's going to use this as his final attack. And we should get the points for defeating him. Yeah, there you go. ×2. You have to beat him on the boost gauge in order to get those points this time, though. In most cases, you'll have to beat him, obviously, on, the skill bonus gauge. But in this case, it's a rare exception. Hold the circle button to make sure those all go by way faster. And unfortunately, I didn't get the skill upgrade E. That would have been very helpful. And my timer did not get set. Why did my timer not get set? Oh well. Man, considering this is a video game and a lot of the motion in many games, especially in the PS2 era, seemed rather clunky. And they do in this game as well, but the way they do the camera work in this fight, it actually comes across pretty well. And we get some lightsaber action going on here, and some pretty badass fight choreography. Nice block. Uh-oh. Run! Yeah, I wouldn't attack at that cost, sorry.
You're a sad sight, Uzuki.
Oh,
Even
you
with
got
your
cut.
so-called reinforcements. Pathetic. You're out of your league. Why, it's clear now that you never even had a chance.
Such a better voice actor than
Captain,
what we
you're
got
hurt.
in the anime. And the one in the anime was one of the better voice actors from that anime. That's sad.
It's from earlier. It's nothing to worry about.
He may have
If you'll
gotten
pardon the
that.
cliche, it's just a scratch.
Tis but a scratch. I believe he got that during the mech fight. But I don't really know for sure. That's just
So
my
it's
guess.
begun.
I could have thrown Mortal Kombat in there, but nah.
This planet is finished. There's no point in staying any longer. I think it's time we ended this. Once and for all.
Bring it on! Again, I will be gushing about this music until the end of the game. I
You
love
dare
this
to
type of
face
music.
me, maimed as you are? The only thing you've mastered is the art of futility.
You never know until you try, Colonel.
True enough.
That's enough.
Oh, I guess we're gonna get some magic into things here. Fire versus ice. Did you win? Nope. Now, if you remember from episode 1, Margulis was missing an eye
Now you see your
and had a
death.
huge scratch, or
I have always
slash.
been your better in every way, Uzuki. It's something that old fool couldn't.
that old fool, huh?
What the?
Bye-bye. They play that off too much as comedy, I think, but it's still funny. And it does a good job of setting kind of the pace. They do like the comedy in this game, like they did in episode 1. I don't think it's as well balanced as episode 1, but there are many aspects to this game that I find are inferior to episode 1.
Canaan,
But
take this.
it does have its charm.
Is this?
Storing it with you is safer than carrying it around. Besides, there's somewhere else I must go.
What?
Are you going to
You're
tell
not
us where you're
serious.
going?
Look, we're still mobile, Captain.
No,
you
we're
could
not.
come with us.
No, this is my own way of atonement.
Atonement for
I
what?
can't turn back now.
But
Please, go on. Bring the truth of this conflict, the truth hidden in that data, to light. Please, do this one thing. For me.
Captain Uzuki,
I'm counting on you. So, farewell.
broken ribs and all, and he still does, you know, multiple story backflips over and wherever the hell he went, who knows. Uh-oh. Oh, right, we have a mission. Let's go do that.
Canaan, look at that. Huh?
Labyrinthos. And the darkness. Wait, what? Save the game? Already? Well, I think we're me guessing at our time, because I forgot to set it at the start. I'm guessing what, maybe 12, maybe 13 minutes, 12 minutes, somewhere in there. I won't save in case something screws up, and then I'll have another chance at getting the skill upgrade E. Continue without saving. Sure. 14 years later, at the end of the actual game proper from episode 1, now we see why we're starting the game with Canaan. This isn't really from episode 1 now, is it? This is
Congratulations, Canaan.
continuing the story we
This
started.
brings our total loss
This
count to
time.
127. I'd say that's a new record.
What's going on here?
I remember the first time as if it was yesterday. My son was born the next day.
Well, no doubt you remember it then.
How old is he now?
He starts junior high next month.
I see.
Sounds about right. 14.
It's gotta be that shadow. I mean,
What
think about
shadow?
it. Its influence severs your data link every time. If we only knew what it was, then we could access the data he gave you.
So yeah, the data that Jin gave him 14 years ago, they haven't been able to access with all of their technology and
Canaan,
all of their
it's a summons
abilities.
from Representative Helmer. Could you go ahead and report today's results while you're there?
Sure.
I'm not your secretary, you know.
Or not.
But today's my son's birthday.
Fine.
I see.
Like Chaos,
That's
Helmer also has a
unfortunate, but I
different
suppose
voice
it
actor.
can't be helped.
I understand that it's data concerning the Miltian conflict. Is it really that important?
It's a less
Yes,
effective
it is.
actor,
The truth behind the conflict lies buried within it.
like with Chaos, but not horrible.
The one who entrusted that data to you was a subordinate under my command. I had sent him in on an independent investigation.
Yes, Xenosaga. Whatever happened to him?
Yeah.
I thought you were a model with suppressed emotions. Don't tell me you're concerned about him.
I'm just curious.
Of course.
He is the one who saddled me with this nuisance after all.
Yeah, I'm sure you've got revenge on the mind.
Don't worry about him. He's left the military. I hear he's doing fine. Now, I have another job I'd like you to undertake.
More
Have a
missions?
look at this. The 100
Well, that looks
series
somewhat
Realian
familiar,
prototype
except for the
mobile.
outfit.
We'll be executing a dive into her subconscious domain at the Administration Bureau. I'd like to request your assistance.
What's the timeline?
I've been notified that our people have just now descended from orbit and landed at the spaceport. I'd be obliged if you could go and pick them up.
Sounds to me like there's more to it than that.
We've noticed a rise in recent activity from both the UTIC organization and the immigrant fleet. I think in times like these, it pays to take precaution.
Understood.
So as I mentioned in episode 1 in the review of Pied Piper, the immigrant fleet has ties to the UTIC organization, and we will learn more about that as time goes on. Specifically, right now. This, we also met, well, not her, but the guy we met in Pied Piper as well.
Your Holiness, I have news concerning the matter of the Y data. Chief Inquisitor Margulis wishes to convey the details to you directly.
I thought Margulis was with
Very
UTIC.
well.
Apparently their organization between the two organizations, or the two groups, is really close. This guy kind of looks like a Realian with those eyes. His name, although we don't find out until episode 3 in the database, is named
Your
Sergius.
It
You
is
may
an
remember
honor
what he
to be in
did
your presence.
in Pied Piper.
Spare me your platitudes. I understand that the Realian in possession of the Y data has fallen into the hands of the Kukai Foundation. I trust you have an explanation for this.
Yes, Holiness. It is true that the 100 series prototype that holds the Y data is currently in the custody of the Kukai Foundation.
Momo is free.
Or rather, the second Miltian government.
Same thing.
However,
I trust you understand the significance of the situation.
according to the URTV Albedo, the Y
Albedo.
data is secured by a form of high-level protection, only accessible at the UMN Control Center on 2nd Miltia. Hence, the current situation. Preparations for our next move are already underway.
Cool. So, what are we going to do to take you down this time?
Margulis. I've heard that the recent offensive against 2nd Miltia was the result of Cardinal Heinlein's manipulation of the Federation's military's upper ranks.
Heinlein, there's a
What do you
name
know of
we
this?
will probably not hear again
I'm afraid
until
I possess
episode
no
3.
intimate details of that. I would presume that all of the Cardinal's decisions are made in the organization's best interest.
Your words. I would imagine it is safe for me to trust them.
You seem to be not all that trusting of anything right now.
I have sworn fealty to your holiness. I would never allow myself to be manipulated by ancient dogma.
Very well. Our fleet is considering an invasion of the demilitarized zone in the near future. I sincerely hope that you will not disappoint me.
I understand, your holiness. I vow to deliver you good news.
Margulis,
Holiness,
I don't like that URTV.
Nobody
It reminds me
does.
of someone vulgar.
I can kind of see
Sure
that.
you remember that.
as you wish.
I didn't really take Margulis for the super religious type.
They get suspicious when they get old.
And apparently I was right to assume that.
The weaker they are, the louder they bark.
Apparently there's some dissension in the ranks. Ah, Pellegrini, how are you
Pellegrini.
today?
What's your status?
Everything is proceeding smoothly. I have Herman and Richard pursuing the target as we speak.
Those two were supposed to be in episode
As
1, I
this is
believe,
an
but they got
independent
written out.
Inquisitor operation,
So, we're
I'm
supposed,
granting you permission to use the ES Issachar.
which is the one she used in the anime.
Yes. You mean those 1,000-year-old relics?
Yes, those
Do they
1,000-year-old
still work?
relics.
The ES is equipped with the
Vessel of Anima.
The Vessel of Anima.
Yeah.
The Vessel of Anima was discovered at the same time as the Zohar. Its power rivals the military might of an entire star system.
References back to
Handle
Xenogears
it
much?
with care. We can't afford for it to get damaged, particularly after the effort it took to restore it.
Understood.
The fact that they're multiple times better than any eggs unit or the new mechs that we have. They're not called eggs anymore, they're called AIMS, AWMS. And that's probably as good a spot as any to stop, unfortunately, because that's going to lead into a lot more cutscenes and a different train of thought. However, kind of the point there was there's a bunch of stuff going on. Now, we'll later find out the association there, but I'm just going to kind of spell it out a little bit right now. The Holiness, his name is Sergius. He was the one in Pied Piper who attacked didn't attack, he ordered the hit on the previous patriarch of the immigrant fleet. Now, just kind of an aside, yeah, he's still part of the immigrant fleet, and considering his role and how he was referred to by Margulis, yeah, he's also the patriarch of the fleet at this point. So in the past 14 years, he's managed to get himself the leadership of this group. Because Margulis is also associated with both that group and, in the last game, the UTIC organization, we can see that they have kind of a marriage between the two. Of course, Pellegrini being the first in command underneath of Margulis, that means that she's associated that way as well. Now, the ESs, the eggs have been replaced with aims, which are supposed to be better in the grand scheme of things. They do mention eggs in this game and episode 3, but basically as being completely inferior to aims. So I don't know why we were using them in the first game, but whatever. It's probably why we didn't use them in the first game. In this game, we get aims, which, well, specifically, we get ESs. She got a really powerful one. Our characters will get powerful ones, and they will actually have uses in this game, and we will be required to do mech fights, kind of like Xenogears. In some ways, the game, between episode 1 and episode 2, we pretty much use almost every idea from Xenogears and bring it up, just in different instances and variations and such like that. Anyway, I'm babbling and there's no audio, so let's just call her a day at this point. Next time, we'll move on with this cutscene and hopefully we will figure out what actually happened to, our characters, not, every other character that we haven't met before. That's all for this one, and I'll see you guys next time.